with things like social media and all this, you can have a kid in the house, safe seemingly, and then you have predators that can get right in there into your own home. You could be doing everything right, but they know how to get and manipulate these different platforms.
And welcome back to The Factor. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law a bill for one of the country's most restrictive social media bans for minors. The law bans social media accounts for children under 14 and require parental permission for 15 and 16-year-olds. The law is scheduled to take effect on January 1st. It is expected to be challenged in court, just as similar laws have been in California and Arkansas. Joining us to talk about it, our social media expert, Karen Diamond. So, Karen, your thoughts on this? Will it even survive, or will it face the challenge like the other states?
You know, I think it has potential, and I always feel like Texas and Florida are fighting for the spotlight on the most outrageous laws, you know. It is an election year. I mean, I think he's trying to stand his ground on where he stands in terms of social media, and he's fighting for the limitations on these young children because of the addictive features that, you know, social media offers and presents, that kids do spend hours on end. But a lot of parents are saying, you don't need to tell me how to parent my children. I can control their own time and their own usage on social.
And from your perspective as a social media expert, is something like this needed, or maybe a lighter version of this?
I do think so. You know, I've always said that parents need to be the gatekeepers to their children's social media access. And he made a very good point. The moment that you're not monitoring, you know, your kids on social media, or perhaps you just let them do whatever they want, you could be inviting strangers into your home through their phone. And so that is a real risk for any parent out there that's not monitoring their usage.
And we have seen what we would call sexual predators traveling across the country to meet a child for a sexual encounter until they're apprehended by law enforcement or stopped by a parent or something.
Correct.
So there are a lot of potential threats out there.
Correct. And social media just happens to be the vessel, right, for that type of connection to be established between a pretend child or a real child and a grown-ass nasty man coming across the country for a kid. But that's also the reality of kids stepping out into a physical playground. You know, social media just happens to be the digital playground of our time. And so I think parents just need to really, really get on their kids and be as protective as possible in person, in real life, and on social media.
Also trending tonight, Karen, online video series. The creator of the 50-part Who Did I Marry series has gone viral, and you're looking at video there, and we're seeing a lot of people trying to generate the same success by telling long-form stories. However, many say that these people are actually lying, making up these stories to go viral or to get the same success. Your thoughts about this?
I mean, why not ride the coattails of a viral sensation? This was one of the best things to happen to social media in 2024. You know, the 50-part series of Risa Tisa on TikTok had my attention, had me just chained to my phone for a week.
And for those who are not familiar with Risa Tisa.
Yes, so that is a 50-part TikTok series about a woman that shared, just in a very raw and organic way, a Who the F Did I Marry series.
I remember
talking
that,
about
yes.
Just, you know, who she married and how he turned out to be everything but who he said he was. So long story short, now there's a lot of people writing those coattails of that viral series. I myself did a little skit on my stories when it was rodeo season, and it was like, what the F not to do at the rodeo, you know? And so I think people really, you know, were drawn to it. I think in this case, I was having fun with it, but some people are just getting on there telling lies, telling blatant, you know, lies, stories, fabricating things just to become viral. And
is that another reason to take social media as entertainment and not as fact always?
1000%, you know, and I think if we know anything about social media, it's where people come to flex, where people come to boast, they come to show off and you know, brag on themselves, lie. I mean, we know all the dirty is on there.
Absolutely, Karen. Still ahead tonight.